The farewell. After all the hard work and excellent service you have delivered to your guests, there is one last thing that you can do to leave the guests with the most wonderful memory of your establishment: the farewell. Just as you warmly welcomed guests when they arrived at your establishment, so you need to bid them farewell and thank them for visiting your establishment. There are 7 steps to greeting your guests properly and professionally at the farewell. Number 1, prepare the coats and jackets. Number 2, inform the porter. Number 3, help the guest from their seat. Number 4, help them with their coats. Number 5, open the door. Number 6, bid the guest farewell. And number 7, hand over to the porter. We generally know that guests are ready to leave when they have just enjoyed their dessert, coffee, or digestif, and after offering them something further from our menu, they have said no thanks. This generally shows that they have come to the end of the dining experience and are ready to go. Once the guest has asked for the bill, you should go back of house and bring it to your guests. When the guests have settled the bill and have finished the last of their drinks, they are usually about to leave, and at this stage you should prepare for their farewell. Step 1. Prepare their coats or jackets. This way, you have them ready at the door as the guests are about to leave. Just as a reminder, remember that this needs to be done once the guests have asked for the bill. Step 2. Inform the porter. Ask the porter, security, or reception head waiter to be ready for your guests in 2 to 5 minutes. A clever hint is to remind them of your guests' names so that they can confidently use their names when greeting them. Step 3. Help your guests out of their seats. As you see that the guests are getting up, help them by adjusting their seat so that it is easy for them to get out. If there are too many guests for you to help everyone, make sure you help the ladies first, or signal to your colleagues to come help you. Step 4. Helping with coats and jackets. Now that the guests are out of their seats and moving towards the exit, you can offer to help them with their coats and jackets, which you prepared in step 1. Ask for permission first. For example, "Mr. MacDonald, may I help you with your coat?" If the guest agrees, hold the jacket by the lapels open towards the guest for them to turn around and slip their arms in. Then lift the coat onto their shoulders. Remember to help ladies first. Step 5. Open the door for the guest. If the door at your establishment is closed, be sure to open the door and step outside, making room for the guest to move through. Step 6. Bid the guest farewell. Bid the guest farewell by saying something such as, "Mr. and Mrs. Jones, thank you so much for joining us. Have a wonderful evening further." And lastly, step 7. Hand over to the porter. If your guests are leaving your establishment, make sure that you hand your guests over to the porter or the security guard, who will take them back to their room or take them to their car. If you do not have porters or security guards, it is a wonderful touch to walk them to their car yourself. Once you have done these simple steps, you may go back into the dining area, neaten your guests' tables, and continue to serve brilliantly until the last guest has left. Remember that just because you are not looking at your guests doesn't mean they are not looking at you, so remember to conduct yourself professionally even after you have said your goodbyes. Make sure that the last impression that you leave them with is as good as the first impression that you worked so hard to perfect. Remember, first impressions last, but last impressions form the first memories.